ride ranch, and it's gonna be a hot one today. Good thing is the wind is blowing. So what am I gonna work on today? Last race I was working on braking, but I did stall a lot. So what I need to do today is not stall so much. And also one of the things is I was focused so much on braking that I wasn't accelerating very cleanly out of the corners, and I was staying in second gear a lot. So I really just need to concentrate today on fast out of the corners, up to third gear, and just pin it. Let's go hit practice.
All right, so here I am heading over to the practice area. Actually, it's the start area where everybody's gathered waiting for practice to start. They have it unusually roped off this time, which is, I missed the entrance there. So let's go over to the start line and practice a couple starts. Just really practicing feathering that clutch out so I don't wheelie. As you can see, I took it in wide. That'll come into play in a minute. And everybody's all gathered under the tree, so let me go find a nice shady spot to wait for practice to start. Not going to show much of practice here, just there is a little bit of mud still left on the course, as you can see. My bike was plenty dirty after them. And here's a couple of pro riders riding double decade flying by me in practice. That was Nathan Gertz on his double decade bike. And here I am doing a nice low side. Alright, so now we are at the start line. My heart is already beating 150 beats per minute, and we take off. You see the wheelie there, and I punch it outside. And back on the throttle for my first hole shot. Yes! First ever. Alright, let's look at that in third person. See the two wheelies there? And I just don't slow down. I just keep on the throttle, keep it outside. Tom's closing on me hard here, but I nab the whole shot from him. And then I forget to turn. Tom and Aaron have to go outside. There's Tom on the left. I punch it here in third gear, get it up to like 42 miles per hour. Then I slow down for that little hump. There's no way I'm gonna fly over that hump. And then Aaron's fishtailing like crazy there. Glad he didn't wreck right in front of me. So now that the start is over, everybody is just fast and furious here. I'm a little overwhelmed at this point. Like, I don't ride motocross, so that guy missed that, but I don't ride motocross, so I'm not used to all these bikes being right around me the whole time. As you can see, I get off to the side there, and I do that once again as well. Trying to keep pace with these guys, but boy, it is definitely, I'm a little bit flustered riding here, just trying to keep pace. Alright, watch this second turn in here. I almost lose it right here. Ooh, that was close. That front end starts to slide out a little, and I saved it. I don't know how I saved it. But now I'm thinking just catch back up, catch back up. I gotta be in like 7th, 8th place now. And I'm definitely, I got a good pace going now where I can try to catch back up with these guys. But they're gone, look at them. And so I can see that guy up there in the distance. Right up here on this off-camber left turn, and I just did not have enough time to react to try to get around him. Alright, so here is where I I'd take a spill. I knew this was going to be slippery because in practice I saw people were down. So I try to go around him, my rear tire slides out, and I fall. My thought here is to just crank it, get out of the way, so I walk it up a little bit, throw my leg over. I don't know if you could see though, but 8 people have passed me. I didn't count. I mean, I counted that, so 8 people passed me there, but I got to be in like 15th, 16th, 17th now, just after being first. So watch, I'm going to pass this guy, but I just run it in way too far into this corner. You can hear that chain chatter, so I'm braking, but then just honestly too afraid to lean the bike and turn it while I was braking, so I just blew the corner there. So the name of the game at this place was Traction. You can hear me say no traction there. About the second or third lap I started to figure out, I don't know why he let me by, but I started to figure out how to get better traction. It's kind of funny because you're always afraid of either losing the front or low siding the bike, and you just don't want it to slide out. I got it up into the high 30s there. So what I figured out on the second or third lap was if I leaned the bike over a little bit more and rolled on a little bit more throttle, that my rear would not slide out as bad. And I was very wary of keeping a lot of weight forward in the turns so that I didn't lose the front, that my front didn't dive, which unweights the rear, makes that rear really slide a lot of places. So I'm flying through here. Like, I think I got it up to 30 through there. A lot of open areas like this on this trail. All right, so there's a nice little hump here that you, on this step up, you get like a foot of air. It's fun. I don't really do step ups or dragon backs or anything, so kind of taking that little kicker on the uphill was fun. So this guy ahead of me is not in my class. He is in open C. So he politely hears me and lets me by. I wasn't revving at him, but I was kind of like flipping the throttle, which kind of makes me seem like I was revving at him. One thing I did do differently this race that I think I'm going to do again was I started with my water mouthpiece in my mouth. So the adrenaline just gets going so bad at the start that I get dry mouth like 5 minutes into the race. So now I'm just going to anticipate that and have that in my mouth so I don't have to like reach for it and put it in. There's a little cheater line right here that I took all 4 laps. I was just expecting it. So this guy ahead of me, I think his name is it David? No, it's Davidson, something Davidson, and I'm behind him a lot. Like, he finishes right ahead of me in the race, and so I'm behind him here on lap 1, and then on lap 2 in the open section, and lap 3 in the open section, coming back to the start finish. He and I are like pretty close in pace. We got a pretty good pace going here through the woods. We're not going breakneck. stalled it right here 2 years ago and really hurt my shoulder on that turn. So again, watch this stall right here. Did I say I stalled it 2 years ago? No, I washed the front 2 years ago and hurt my shoulder. That really hurt. I think that was one of my only 1 or 2 stalls this race, which is something that I really wanted to work on because the race 2-3 months ago I stalled 14 times. It's really gotten better about that. I think I'm in 2nd gear through this section. I really need to be in 3rd gear. You hear the revs are a little bit high. Trees are close, but they are not as close as they were last race. Last race in May, they were like right at handlebar width. That was kind of freaky. Then you got some double track like this through the woods, which was kind of fun. Because at this property, a lot of UTVs and 4-wheelers ride this property, so there's a lot of double track here. Which makes for good racing because you can pass. But if you're somebody like me who doesn't really ride motocross or not really experienced in that, it makes it, I just get passed a lot. Normally I rely on the single track to kind of keep people behind me if I get a good start. Not at this place. So somebody's revving behind me, I heard it there. Take a quick peek, but it's hard to peek through the woods because you don't want to run into a tree. So we're only a couple minutes into, we're probably like 8 minutes into the race. I take a peek again, and then I take a peek at this turn right here. And I see the yellow dot. He's in my class, so I'm not letting him by. He's just revving at me to throw me off or something. Revving at me again. Just gotta block that out. So as you can see, it's really dry, and which makes the corners slick. Now there's a 2-stroke revving behind me, which was different. Watch this guy come. And he's just flying. Oh, so there was the guy that I was behind, I just passed. So he's saying, let's go, let's go. I am going. Look how fast I'm going. So it's really important here to make sure all your braking is done. Yeah, there he goes. And there's Kirby, woman's A-rider, right behind him. She wasn't behind him the whole time though, because when I looked back a while ago, there was another person behind him. If you look at the map up in the upper left-hand corner, there's a road dividing this property, so that's why we're going under the tunnel. Now we have a bunch of open section back to the start-finish line. But yeah, if you don't brake early enough and you try to brake in the corner, ooh, that's just not going to be good on this track. It's so slick in these corners. really just have to make sure you do all your braking beforehand. Fun right here. I think we open it up into third. Almost 30, but I should have been able to get a lot higher than that. Some nice open section here if you're willing to risk it. That guy's willing to risk it. These sections are all about like risk and reward. Like, how much are you really willing to risk it? Because you never completely feel settled. So it got up to 35 there when you hit all these braking bumps. You really got to stand for those. But yeah, so you're never completely in a straight line. You're always kind of turning. You're either going into a turn or coming out of a turn, and which makes feel very uneasy about going wide open. So like this left-hander right here, you can just come out of this wide open, right? It's very grassy, it's not slick at all. And then going up this hill right here, go wide open again. So I got up to 35 there, but now you're going about around this righty, this just gradual righty, and you just don't feel comfortable at all. And this lefty right here, you don't feel comfortable. It's just a lot of dirt, a lot of rocks, a lot of loose stuff on top. And so I'm trying to weight the front tire so I don't lose the front tire or it doesn't wash out. But then that's unweighting my back. My rear is sliding around. Can't see it in the video, but it's a very unsettling, uneasy feeling. Guys who are big motocross racers, or they've been doing that all their life, they're like, this is easy. Let me just go fourth wide open, fifth wide open. Me, who's like a woods racer, this GP style racing is not my style, but I'll tell you what, the last time I raced here was 2 years ago, and I've improved so much. I never would have even dreamed of getting up into the 30s 2 years ago, and now I'm getting up into the 40s on some of the straights. So, but I don't go up into fourth or fifth. Like for this track, all I really need is second, third gear. Third on my bike tops out at about 47 miles per hour, but I need a long stretch and I have to have good corner exit speed to get up to that. So there's not enough room on this track to get up that high. And I'm not good enough to be cornering these things at 25 miles per hour. Maybe someday, but I'm just not good enough yet. I just heard somebody rev, I think, from behind. So I see Kayla, two riders behind me, and she's revving at the guy behind me. So I just slow down and be like, come on, come on, come on. Because Kirby, who she's trying to chase down, is now gotta be 4 or 5 minutes ahead of her, and this is just the first lap. So I try to catch a tow with her. I stay with her like for maybe 5 to 10 turns, but she's fast. She started 2 lines behind me, I think. So 2 minutes behind me. She's already caught me on the first lap. But I'm keeping her in sight, which is good for me because I really need to practice. I think I almost lose it on this turn right here. No, that's next lap. starting to creep away up there, and I kind of lost that toe. It's because I'm being a wuss on some of these turns, slowing down too much. Back to the start finish line. Well, to the scoring, which is basically the finish line. I don't know what happened there. I think I hit neutral. I hadn't done this section yet because I only did one lap in practice, plus then I went back to the start line, but I didn't do this section. So look at me go all around this. I could have cut off like 20 yards there and just gone way inside through that mud, but just stupidly went around it. This little hill was fun. Kind of that uphill 180. Alright, so now we're back to the place where I hit 41 after the start, so let's see what I get up to on this lap. So 37. This is where I took the spill in practice. So I'm already kind of losing a little bit of aggression there, but when you got people all around you, it's easy to be like, yeah, go, 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 go. But when you're out here by yourself, people behind you, just not being as aggressive. Almost blew that turn. I think lap 2 was probably my fastest lap overall. So lap 1's a little shorter, so that time was a little bit less. And then lap 2 and 3, my lap times were actually equal. But as you'll see in lap 2, I had a little course diversion because somebody blew a ribbon in front of me. That cost me about 30 seconds. So I think lap 2 was about 30 seconds faster than lap 3. And then lap 4, I was just gassed. About 4 minutes slower. Okay, I'm getting more confidence on that turn and through this section here, so I'm still being tentative though. It's easy when you're sitting at home in your chair in the air conditioning, not feeling any of the bumps, not feeling any response, like, just go faster, just go faster, just go faster. But when you're in it, when you're in the thick of it, yeah, I kind of rolled this just for safety reasons, because I didn't want that to happen. There's trees around, it's a lot of off camber, and I'd prefer to just keep it on 2 wheels and on the trail. Alright, so watch me take the bail out here, because on lap 1, you saw what happened. So I didn't take that route off to the right. I went all the way down to the bottom here before turning. Gives you the nice little run up, and then he tried to like stick his wheel in there, and I was like, I've already given up enough. I've already given up too many positions. Please no. Let's see how well I can do on this 180 turn. I didn't roll onto the throttle until I was straight out of the turn, so not that good. Let's see what I do on this one. I blipped a little bit kind of at the apex, so a little bit better on that one, but it wasn't as sharp either. Alright, this is a nice fast stretch. Coming up here, let's see how fast I can get it up to. Right out of this turn. really have to slow down for this right-hander. There's plenty of traction here. So like 31, I think is what it said. I should be able to go faster than that there. I really feel like looking back at it. It's another little fast spot here. You can see that guy's just blowing by me. I think I got it up to 30 and a half there. I should just be able to go faster there. They're straight. They're not rough. I just need to learn to go faster and then trust my braking. This becomes more fun, this section, throughout the race, because you start slowing down less and less in the corners. This off-camber was always tough. You just feel like if you gas it there, you're going to lose it. Go faster through this section, but there's that one drainage ditch that just makes me slow down, and then I don't pick it back up well enough before or after the drainage ditch. Oh yeah, that was a little water brake. I was wondering why I slowed down there, but I am getting better about the water brakes. I can kind of ride, I can find a smooth spot, ride one-handed, and not completely, I used to have to come to a stop to reach down, feed it underneath my chin, helmet chin. Now I can, I'm slowing down to about 15, which is comfortable, but only for a couple seconds. I'm also keeping it up in my mouth longer too, until it gets uncomfortable. So there was a cheater line there that I took the last lap, the first 3 laps. I just didn't really take it. I think it would shave a couple seconds off. I don't see it in practice. It's really hard for me to adjust mid-race. Almost stalled it there. Definitely did not take that section as fast as lap 1, following that guy. Same with this section. Yeah. So maybe I'm just faster when I follow rather than when I lead. Because I'm being a lot more tentative here, out here by myself. Some good chain chatter on that one. Didn't stall it either. This is where I need to be up in 3rd gear coming through here. Being a little too tentative. So my mind is kind of tricking me out there because I'm like, there's a turn coming up. Let's, play it safe. You don't want to blow the turn in the woods here. So I did a lot better at getting up into the right gear in the open sections, but in the woods here, I'm still just playing it way too tentative. Alright, so almost got crushed coming up here. I'll tell you where, but a little bit of a backstory. On the right side over here, I don't know which way this video is going to come out, but basically on the second half of this wood section, somebody blew a ribbon which caused this guy to come through the trail. Watch him to the right here. Right here.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Sorry for the language, but like on my heart just like skipped, for real. Not now, but in the race. And the camera angle is a lot wider than my vision. I'm looking like straight ahead. So right at the last second, I see this bike coming full speed right at me. I'm like, I'm gonna get T-boned right here. And I think it would have been worse for me than it would for him, because he would have hit me from the side, whereas he would have hit head on. And God, it's so dangerous. So on lap 3, sweepers put some branches there to cover that, but damn, that was close. If I was a split second slower, he would have nailed me for sure. Now, the ribbon that he went through, he wasn't the one who blew through the ribbon, but the place that he went through, it actually nabs me. You'll see it up here probably in about a minute or so. Go ahead and switch gears there. That's a tough little chicane because
while you're braking.
Yeah, you're coming into that little chicane so fast and you're braking for it, and then you have to do a little steer through there, and that's tough. Alright, coming up here. I should have gone left there. And then I see him, I'm like, what is he doing? I was like, oh, we blew the turn. So, got about 10 of us. I run into that guy. I think there's about 8 of us. And then I gotta wait so I don't crash into these guys. So they saw us coming and they're like,
that guy almost hit me.
I just figured out how that guy almost hit me. If I hadn't seen that guy turning around, I would have been that guy running through that intersection. So the way they mark these courses, that's a D rider. Watch his balance on this next turn.
That's a D rider? No way.
He is completely imbalanced standing up. He is a sandbagger. I forgot his name. I looked up his name. It's number 30. If I remembered his name, I'd say it right now, because that guy's totally sandbagging. Oh, I looked at his lap times too. He was down in the 16s or 15s. I think it was the 16s, but his lap times were mid B lap times, and he's riding in D. There's always sandbaggers. Oh, I take the jump on this one. No one, I don't know if anybody caught it on video. I heard somebody yell out something. I don't know if they yelled my name or not. But there's always going to be some sandbaggers in every series and every race. This series, not really. I haven't seen them do anything about bumping since the off season. 22 to 23, I think. I don't even know if they're bumping people anymore. If they are, they're doing it under the radar, because they're not doing it publicly anymore. But obviously, when you see guys turn lap times like that, they should be just kicked out of that class. In my opinion, of course, I'm not running the race series, but in my opinion, you can't run the beginner class if you're an intermediate rider. So my son did a race back in the New Year's this year, got second place, so he's always ragging on me that he has a second place trophy or plaque, and I don't have one. So I said, hey, look, I'm just gonna go back down to D for this race and get me a second, get on the podium, and then that way I'll have a plaque and you'll have a plaque. And he's like, no, you can't go back down. I was like, sure I can. I can just go enter D. And he's like, well, that's cheating, Dad. You're a C rider. I'm like, well, I guess this guy's kind of standing there.
Move.
Just matter of fact, gotta move, dude. He's like in the middle of the thing. I mean, I went around him, but... So, I was telling my son I'm gonna go back down to D, nab a podium, and then I could say, like, I got a podium just like you got a podium. And then during this race, like, this is as fast as I've ever ridden, because this is the most open track probably that I've ridden in the past year or so. And I get passed by probably 5 D riders throughout this time, and they start 3 minutes behind me, I think. So I'm looking at it, I don't even know if I would have finished the top 10 in D. There's like so many fast riders. And of course the top 2 or 3 are like really B riders. Freaking crazy, these people. So I'm definitely glad I did not go back down to D and then get smoked by them all. This was a tough turn to get confidence in. And it turned out I was in first gear.
Why am I in first gear on that turn?
I don't know why. Alright, so there's that Davidson guy. He found his way back around me. He was the guy who was following on lap 1 going into the woods. So I got these 2 people in my class that are right in front of me. I am thinking 100% I'm going to pass them back here. Like, that is my immediate goal, is to pass them back. So you hear that? I got high on the RPMs on 2, and then I went up to 3. Coming out of this turn, I'm gonna go wide open. And I let off pretty early, but this is as aggressive as I can comfortably ride right now. Just coming out of turn, going up to 3rd, wide open. I know I can't sustain it for that long because I'm not that good at braking yet, but I catch back up to his wheel here, and then he goes around the mud up here, and I go straight. Then I take an off-course. That's next lap. But I guess the disheartening part here is I was going as fast as I could possibly go here, within my comfort level, and I couldn't catch them, or I couldn't catch back up and pass them. And so from the outside observer, so here's another D rider passing me on lap 2. As an outside observer, it looks like we're just kind of following each other here and not being that aggressive or playing follow the leader.
Almost tucked it there. Almost pulled a section.
That was when I almost tucked it. But I am really focused on, now he's gone. Now there's a rider in between us, but I'm really focused on catching this guy and passing him, and I am doing everything I can to do that, and I still can't do it. It was frustrating, and it happens again on lap 3. I don't know why I hesitated on accelerating there. It might have been another water break. My son's out filming to the left now on this one. I almost lost it. I almost fell over. Being really tentative through this section. I don't know why. Alright, so a bit more aggressive line for the mud there. So if you've gotten this far in the video, I really would like to hear your opinion on how I can improve on a course like this. Let's see how fast I can get up. I'm getting slower and slower. It was only 35 this time. So I went from 41 to 37 to 35. But yeah, give me some feedback on what can I do to improve. I mean, you guys see my the line selection I'm taking. Am I not coming in wide enough on the turns, or am I not braking hard enough? Am I waiting too long to brake? Am I not accelerating well out of the corners? But on that GP style track, I feel like I'm putting in max effort. I feel like I'm pushing the bike to its limits. I mean, obviously, if I was a pro rider, they'd be able to ride my bike faster, but what do I need to do to improve on that? Is it roll speed or corner speed, braking, accelerating? So like, let's look at this corner coming out. I'm in third already, so I'm just gonna go wide open. I'm leaning forward, I'm powering forward. I'm just gonna go wide open until I start slowing down for this turn. So I'm definitely feeling more comfortable going wide open on the bike, whereas when I first got this bike, I was scared, just scared to do that. It was too fast for me. Oh, here's another D rider that I just let by. I was like, well, I'm not gonna race this guy. He's gonna pass me anyway. Rear brake going down that. Alright, coming up here, watch this. I almost loop out at the top of this next hill. I realized I was going to go down in that little crevice there. The only way I could keep the front tire from going down in there was to gas it hard, and I did that. And then the front tire comes up, and I'm like, I felt like literally I was going to loop out for a second. Not really an enduro rider. I don't do log crossings or anything, so that feeling for me, it was a little bit uneasy at the time. Alright, coming out of this corner, let's see what we can do. Should have stayed on the throttle. It's great traction there. On this one, up to 35. But then I start coasting. here by ourselves a little bit. Well, as soon as I say that, I get passed by this guy. That's the same guy, number 8, that was that said you need to move. Maybe he gave me that power slide because I was like, you need to move. This section is just fun. He's on the throttle hard. But I'm like, oh, I need to, let me see if I can catch a tow with him and stay with him. I stay with him for a little bit, but as soon as we hit this off-camber turn up here, he's gone. Like, I cannot, it's this turn right here. I can't take this turn aggressively. So I felt like I caught back up to him a little bit when we slowed down there, but now he's just, now he's gone. Alright, so we're kind of coming up to the tunnel. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to skip ahead probably like about 3 or 4 minutes. Everybody, we've seen this section several times, and then we will pick it back up. Alright, so we skipped ahead like 2 or 3 minutes. It's one of the few places where I got up into 3rd gear here in this wood section. Normally in the woods, I primarily keep it in 2nd gear. So that little rut there was funny because I watch a lot of Moto Academy videos, videos like that. I can hear AJ saying, when you have a rut, don't look down, look ahead. So every time I was doing that, so I didn't have like target fixation on that rut. I think it helped. Like I kept both wheels through the rut the whole time. So this is 3rd lap. I am starting to feel a little bit more tired than I was, but I'm still riding pretty aggressive. Back on the throttle.
Finally getting in a flow here.
I don't know if you heard that.
More, pressing with my knees more.
But I said I feel like I'm getting in the flow finally.
That cost me at least 30 seconds last time.
What I've learned here is just to lean the bike more in these turns, which is counterintuitive if you're trying to keep it from sliding out or low siding. Lean the bike earlier on the throttle so that rear tire, this little downhill with the big mud rut after it always kind of freaked me out, but get that tire power to the rear, which actually seemed to plant the rear more rather than have it spin out like you would think. So leaning the bike, weighting the outside peg, pressing my knee into the outside shroud. All those 4 things really seem to help keep the flow and find traction in these slippery turns.
Thank you.
It's nice of him to just let me by. He wasn't in my class though. Alright, let's see if I take the jump. Did. Gil's kind of out there by himself. It's really just for him. There's some A riders who were saying it's faster to not take the jump than it, but they're fun, so I did it. Being aggressive here. It's the 3rd lap. I know I'm kind of in the back of the pack. I've been passed by like 4 or 5 D riders. Been passed by 2 women. I think I've been passed by 1 or 2 of the 65 plus people. But I'm still fighting. I don't know if you saw it, but there's a bike up ahead of me. I can see it right there on the horizon. I see him. And all of a sudden, I'm like, ooh, there's my target. I'm gonna go past that guy. I'm gonna try to go past that guy. So third gear wide open here, standing up over the braking bumps. When I first did that, that was so scary. Like, it probably was December or January, I want to say. It's only a 250, but it's got so much power. Now it's like, yeah, it's fine. Okay, now you can see I caught up to him a little bit, right? Totally amateur hour there. Finding neutral when you're trying to go wide open up that hill. Lost all the momentum, but that's alright, at least I didn't fall. Okay, so I'm actually trying to be smooth here. I'm actually trying to brake properly, carry roll speed into the corner, hit the throttle at the apex, and then once I exit the corner, just go wide open, up to third, wide open again. I'm trying to do all the right things that I know to do, so obviously I'm not taking this corner in first this time. This is the same guy in the orange helmet. I can't remember his name, Davidson, somebody Davidson, but I don't know how I ended up, like more than half the race I ended up behind this guy. So you heard that. That was pretty high in the RPMs in third gear there. I think that was down into second. Some pretty aggressive braking. So again, I'm gonna ask, what do I need to do to go faster? Because during this moment, when I was riding, I feel like I'm pushing the bike as hard as I can push it. The one thing that I can see I can do is probably brake a little later. It's kind of an obvious choice. Is that the next step that I need to be working on, is later braking? So I closed the gap. Look, I'm only like 30 feet behind them, whereas I was 100 or 200 yards behind them. So he takes the left this time. Now watch me. I almost throw it away right here. There's some logs over there. I don't know why I did that, but just being stupid and tired. I don't know who this guy is, but he's fast. Where's he been the whole race, though? I think that was a red dotted D-rider. He looks like he should have been up there with the other dude. Maybe he just had a bad start or fell. Kind of disheartening a little bit. I was trying to ride that berm there, which is why I went to the outside. But it's kind of disheartening when you feel like you are just going as fast as you can. Like, you're not braking so late into a corner, but you're wide open, like in between the corners, and then you have a rider come up and pass you like that. And not just pass you by a little, but like, look, he's already kind of gone. And you're just thinking, man, I thought I was going fast. Like, I literally thought I was going fast. But I wasn't. Now, I know I'm not going super fast through here, but like back in that open section, I was pushing my bike as hard as I knew how to push it, or like could comfortably, right on that border of comfortable, uncomfortable, push it. Alright, well that's it. I'm gonna skip the 4th lap because the 4th lap was super slow. I was so tired. I almost quit right here. But the guy at scoring started yelling at me to go do a 4th lap. And my son's over there filming. Alright, thanks for watching. There's a recap video coming up here shortly.
Alright, I'm sitting down because I am wiped out. That was a fun race, but as you can see, I didn't want to do 4 laps. I still got dirt on my face, but I didn't want to do 4 laps. I was ready to be done in 3, so I'm glad I hydrated all week. 4th lap, I was pretty much sucking down water the whole last lap. I don't think there was any danger of heat stroke or heat exhaustion or anything. It was just tired and hot and butt sore because of all the bumps, and I have just not ridden since last race, which was like 5-6 weeks ago, and I was just not in shape to be standing up. I did stand up coming into a lot of braking corners, did not stall as much. As you saw, I really got up into 3rd gear and really tried to go fast, but shoot, I just can't catch those guys. Like, I stayed with that guy, I think the 3rd lap for a while, and I could keep his pace, but I couldn't pass him. So I really got to work on that corner speed because I'm wide open 3rd gear coming out of the corners, or 2nd gear, then going up to 3rd. Tons of fun out here. Glad I made it. Loved getting the hole shot. Hole shot by a wheel was great. My first hole shot, and I normally race in the Sunday class, which is age class 40C. There's usually about 12 to 15 people, and I think there were 25 to 30 people today in 250C. So pulled the hole shot and did it against more people than I'm used to. So stoked about that. I'm still just in shock. All right.